Hey, Praveen.
How are you doing?
Chair.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Long time, almost 3 months since the last meeting.
I know it's kind of crazy when I look back. Like the last time it was that long.
Yeah. I mean, in all of 2025, we may have maybe only about 10 meetings.
I think a few. If you have a lot of big ones coming up this year, so I feel like the focus is more on these huge.
Yeah, that makes sense actually. That's better.
True. Yeah. We got some big ones coming up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to meet. I met one or two. I met John, but I haven't met. Hello. Good seeing you again.
How have you been?
Busy. We are hopefully finding.
Oh, okay.
Help is on its way.
Oh, all right. Great.
That'll be nice.
Yeah.
I've been proud to serve in this acting role. Being a woman attorney for the city has been,
You could be the city attorney.
so my wife used to make twice as much as me.
Oh, what does she do?
She's the head of commercial contracting.
She's a lawyer?
She's a lawyer. She's a much more successful lawyer.
I don't know what successful is.
She's a big time lawyer. But yeah, I mean, she's been very supportive of me and like what I wanted to do in the theaters. She gets it. But she's also been carrying. She's been carrying a lot of load on the home front. So the conversation was, I know this wasn't only talked about one. Then I'd like to be doing for 4 months fill my position. Absolutely. So I never applied. But I
Maybe you change your mind after a year or so, a couple of years.
I think there will be a time when I want.
Surprised to see so many people.
As historically, project.
That's green. Who's this?
Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello.
Just start. Go the agenda first and then. When will this be?
After the hearing.
Oh. Welcome to the City of Milpitas Planning Commission meeting, February 11th, 2026. I'd like to read the public comment instructions. Oral public comments may only be provided live during the Planning Commission meeting in person. All comments provided shall be limited to 3 minutes or less, as determined by the chair. All public members will be limited to one comment per agenda item and one comment for non-agenda items. Members of the public may submit written comments by mail to planningdepartment@milpitas.gov. Now, can we stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance? Commissioner Kong will lead us. We'll have the swearing-in ceremony. Okay, the next item is the swearing-in of appointed planning commissioners by city clerk.
Hi, I'm City Clerk Suzanne Gazetta, and one of the best duties that I get to do as the city clerk is the administration of oaths and affirmations to newly appointed commissioners and to our mayor, city council, and all city employees. So I would like to ask newly appointed commissioners Don Brown and Elania Castillo to please join me down here. Congratulations. So you will both raise your right hands and you will repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Dawn,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly
that I will support and defend
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. Congratulations. And I will have you both come over here and sign. Alania, you're right here. You'll sign here. And then Dawn, I have this one here. If you have your pen, you can sign. And then this is your certificate of appointment to the Planning Commission. And this is just for you.
Thank you so much.
And this is your certificate of appointment.
Thank you.
Thank you both so much for serving the city of Milpitas, and you'll receive copies of these.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone, and have a good evening.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome the new commissioners, Commissioner Brown and Commissioner Castillo. Okay, so we decided to move the election of chair and vice chair till after the public hearing, so that we don't, bother everybody else here. So let's start with the roll call. Ms. Liz, could you start the roll call, please?
Thank you, Chair. Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, Planning Commissioners, and community members. I will take attendance, starting with Commissioner Castillo.
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Brown,
Here.
Commissioner Kong,
Present.
Commissioner Awasi is absent this evening, Commissioner Galong,
Present.
Vice Chair Culkins,
Here.
and Chair Gupta.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, next is the conflict of interest declaration. Request Attorney Creech to take that, please.
Thank you, Chair. I ask the Chair and each member of the Milpitas Planning Commission whether he or she has any financial or personal conflict of interest related to any of the items appearing on tonight's agenda.
Commissioner Castillo,
Aye.
Just say none.
No, I have no objection.
thank you. Commissioner Brown,
No, I do not.
Commissioner Kong,
None.
Commissioner Galong,
None.
Vice Chair Culkins,
None.
and Chair Gupta.
None.
Thank you.
I further ask the Chair and each member of the Milpitas Planning Commission to please disclose any campaign contributions of $100 or more received within the last 12 months from any of the parties entering into contracts with the city on tonight's agenda, or contributions received from development project applicants for development projects on tonight's agenda.
Commissioner Castillo,
No.
Commissioner Brown,
None.
Commissioner Kong,
None.
Commissioner Galong,
None.
Vice Chair Culkins?
None.
Chair Gupta?
None.
Thank you.
Let the record reflect no reported conflicts. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you. Next, approval of tonight's agenda. May I have a motion for approval of our agenda for tonight?
And Chair, I understand that would be with the item for election of chair and vice chair moved to the end of the agenda. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
I second.
Let's take a vote.
Was that second by Vice Chair Cul? Oh, gotcha. Okay. Thank you. Commissioner Castillo?
I approve.
Commissioner Brown?
Approve.
Commissioner Kong?
Aye.
Commissioner Galong?
Aye.
Vice Chair Culkins?
Aye.
And Chair Gupta?
Aye.
Thank you.
Next is the approval of the minutes for November 19th. That's almost 3 months. So we have a motion. Sorry. So do we have a motion to approve the minutes or Ling, you have?
Yeah, I'd like to request for an amendment of the minutes because the item 9-1, there were 2 additional motions that were taken and voted on, but was not that failed, but it was omitted from the minutes. So can you please add that in?
Yes, we could do that, Commissioner Kong. I'll review, revise, and present the amended minutes to you at the next meeting. Thank you for being my second pair of eyes.
I think there was a second change also that I don't know if you confirmed that there were 2 no's in the last meeting.
Okay, I'll look into that for you.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you so much.
So with that amendment, can we have a motion to approve the minutes, please?
So Chair, there are 2 ways to handle. One of them would be is we could make the amendment on the dais, but also staff could bring back amended minutes for approval at the next Plan Commission meeting, if that might be more expedient.
Okay, let's do it that way. So let's skip this for now. Wait till the next meeting. Okay, so next is announcements. Are there any announcements by the planning commissioners? In that case, any announcement by the planning director, Mr. J. Lee?
Thank you, Chair Gupta. Just one announcement. The next regularly scheduled meeting on February 25th has been canceled for a lack of items. So the next tentatively scheduled meeting of this Planning Commission would be March 11th. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. Okay, so now we move on to public forum. I'd like to read this statement. Members of the public are invited to speak on any item that does not appear on today's agenda. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes or less at the chair's discretion. When called to speak, you're encouraged to state your name for the record. As an item not listed on the agenda, no action can be taken. However, the Planning Commission may instruct the staff to place the item on a future meeting agenda. Now we start the public hearing. And are there any members of the public who wish to speak about the public hearing?
Chair, I have not received any speaker cards for public forum.
Public forum, yes, okay. Okay, good.
Thank you.
All right, so let's start with the public hearing item number 11.1.
I see a hand.
No, that will come after the presentation, yeah. Okay,
So
the first
for-
item is,
If I may, Chair, for clarity for the public, comments on items on the agenda can be made during the public forum at the time of that agenda item. This would be for comments on items not appearing on the agenda. If no one comes forward or submits a speaker card, then the commission will move on.
Okay, so let's have the first presentation. Celia's Event Center, 60 Dempsey Road, use permit amendment. Mr. Sean Manello will make the presentation.
Right. Good evening, commissioners. My name is Sean Manalo. I am an associate planner here with the city, and I've been with the city for about a year. But if you can believe it or not, this is my first time addressing this body. So I just wanted to begin first with saying thank you to commissioners for all of your service, and extending a hearty welcome to our new commissioners, Brad and Castillo. So looking forward to working with all of you very close into the future. This evening, I'll be presenting two items for the Commission's consideration. The first being Use Permit Amendment 25007 at 60 Dempsey Road for Celia's Event Center. Is there a... Here we are. All right, thank you. Celia's Event Center was approved under use permit number 19008 in 2020 for operation as a banquet hall and entertainment use in accordance with the Milpitas Municipal Code. Under current zoning, meeting or banquet facilities over 2,000 square feet or with seating or more for more than 200 persons are classified as major community assembly uses, which require a use permit. Celia's Event Center submitted an application of an expansion of hours beyond the hours established within their original use permit and approved by the Planning Commission. The proposed change in operating hours was determined by staff to constitute a significant modification requiring an amendment to the originally approved use permit number 19008. The permit amendment request for your consideration is the formal request for the expansion of hours of operation. Next slide, please. This is an aerial image of the project site. East of City Hall.
We're not getting the presentation on our screens.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, okay, we got it now. Thank you. You got it? No.
Please bear with us. We are working with our team to get the presentations on our screen so that we can also follow along.
It's up now.
What's up now? Yeah. Excellent. This is an aerial image of the project site east of City Hall and the city center, just south of Calaveras Road and east of Interstate 680. The aerial shows the project site is located adjacent to the Fiesta Plaza Shopping Center and south of the Executive Inn on Dempsey Road. The Fiesta Plaza Shopping Center site to the south of the project site maintains two buildings and features a variety of shops and services, including several restaurants, a food market, barber shop, and mosque. A collection of multifamily residential properties are located to the south of the subject property, behind the southernmost building of the Fiesta Plaza Shopping Center. The project site can be accessed from at least two entrances on Dempsey Road to the north and to the west. Next slide, please. This is the zoning map of the property. The project site and the neighboring properties are zoned for neighborhood commercial mixed use. Following the adoption of the city's 2025 housing opportunity districts and the 2025 comprehensive zoning ordinance update, the subject property was rezoned from C1, neighborhood commercial, to the neighborhood commercial mixed use 3, NCMU 3 district, with the intention to encourage a compatible mix of residential, retail, entertainment, office, and commercial uses. The general plan land use designation for the project site and the surrounding properties is also neighborhood commercial mixed use, NCMU. Next slide, please. Here, briefly, I want to share a picture of the front facade of Celia's Event Center from Dempsey Road and share a bit more about the applicant and business. Celia's Event Center operates an existing major community assembly use with an existing 14,192 square foot building. The Event Center hosts a variety of events such as weddings, quinceañeras, baby showers, and fundraisers, and the existing building is 2 stories in height with a ground floor level and partial upper mezzanine level provided as attachment C. The mezzanine level serves as storage and maintains a back office space, while the ground floor is primarily accommodated for event space, including a 3,633 square foot dining area, dance floor and elevated stage, dressing rooms, bathroom facilities, an equipment room, and several storage areas. The applicant proposes no interior or exterior modifications as part of this application, and therefore complies with the development standards of the newly designated NCMU 3 zoning district, as shown in Table 4 within the staff report, and the plan set provided as Attachment C. Additionally, Table 5 within the staff report confirms that the project does not propose any site improvements or parking-related upgrades, and the business will continue to maintain the existing 103 off-street parking spaces already provided on the lot. The requests for the expanded hours do not facilitate a requirement for increased parking on site. Attachment B provides the approved resolution and conditions of approval for the original use permit 19008 approved on February 26, 2020. Within the original use permit, the hours of operation provided here are established with closing hours on Saturdays and Sundays at midnight and Mondays and Fridays at 11 p.m. The use permit amendment request, next slide please, proposes to amend these hours Thursdays through Sundays with later hours of operation to 2 a.m. Opening hours of operation on Thursdays and Fridays are also changed with a later opening hours from the original 12 p.m. to the new scheduled 3 p.m. The applicant has provided a letter narrative provided as Attachment D, explaining their need for expanded hours to serve a growing clientele base, requesting for later events and programs at the center. If the use amendment is approved, the applicant will be able to operate their existing business at the expanded hours of operation as proposed, subject to conditions of approval by the Planning Commission. The applicant will still be required to apply for standard planning and building permits to carry out future site improvements and various interior tenant improvements. Next slide, please. Excellent. It's important to highlight a few items for the Planning Commission related to noise and security. As seen in the image here, the nearest residential uses are located approximately 300 feet to the south of the subject site, across the parking lot, and on the opposite side of multiple commercial buildings, part of Fiesta Plaza. Other businesses operating within the Fiesta Plaza Shopping Center include several businesses, market, restaurant, convenience stores, and personal service businesses will largely be closed during the extended hour period requested by the applicant, including the Fiesta Market grocery convenience store, which closes at 9 p.m., and the Cheerleader liquor store, which closes at midnight. The nearby Executive Inn across Dempsey Road is located approximately 175 feet away from the event center. As all events will take place exclusively indoors and outdoor uses of the business will continue to be prohibited, these surrounding businesses and uses are therefore expected to be minimally impacted by sound and traffic generated from the event center's request for extended hours. A condition of approval reiterating the prohibition on outdoor activities already practiced by the applicant has been added to the conditions of approval provided in Attachment A. Next slide, please. Additionally, Title 5, Chapter 213 of the city's municipal code related to noise abatement enumerates the city's noise restrictions and provides a process to address noise complaints. Since receiving their conditional use permit to operate in 2020, Celia's Event Center has received only 2 noise complaints in which the city's code enforcement division issued formal notice to abate letters to the property and business owners. In both these instances, a voluntary abatement occurred and the cases were successfully closed. Should a pattern of noise complaints or other issues arise in association with the proposed event center that rise to the level of a public nuisance, the Planning Commission may initiate a review of the conditional use permit and revision of the project conditions of approval at any time after written notices provided to the property owner. Related to security, consistent with the original use permit conditions of approval from February 2020, security personnel must be on site at a ratio of 1 guard for every 100 guests. This service is already provided by the subject business as a service to guests. And finally, related to alcohol, the applicant confirms that their narrative letter as attachment D that alcohol is not sold on site, and clients are prompted to obtain their own one-day alcohol beverage license for events. Standard protocol requires the applicants first contact Milpitas Police Department permits officers for an initial decision, and if approved by the police department, they'll secondly formally have to submit an application to the California Department of Alcohol Beverage Control, or ABC, for an ABC special event liquor license for review and issuance. With these considerations, staff has ultimately recommended approval for this amendment request. The proposed project is categorically exempt from the environmental review under the California Environmental Quality Act in accordance with CEQA Guidelines Section 15301 on existing facilities and Section 15183, projects consistent with a general plan, community plan, or zoning. And a notice was published in the Milpitas Post and City Hall, as well as the city's website. A total of 510 postcards were sent to property owners within 1,000 feet of the project site. A sign was also posted at the project site. 0 comments relating to the project have been received to me via email or by phone call. Next slide, please. Excellent. Staff has confirmed that the project meets the findings associated with the conditional use permit as set out in the municipal code. Those findings have been discussed in the staff report and are addressed in the resolution. Specifically, the proposed use is appropriate for the zone, not detrimental to health, safety, and welfare, and is suitable for the use being proposed. The project is also consistent with several goals and policies identified in the general plan, including LU 6.5 and CD 6.4, related to the reinvestment in commercial shopping centers and maintaining viable neighborhoods serving commercial uses in the city. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission open and close the public hearing and adopt Resolution 26001 approving CUP Amendment Number 25007 to the Use Permit 19008, subject to the findings and attached conditions of approval. This concludes staff summary of the project. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. Furthermore, I believe Celia Madriz of Celia's Event Center is available for any questions virtually. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vanalla. Good presentation. Are there any comments or questions from the commissioners? Kong? Commissioner
I
Kong?
have several questions.
Sure.
So regarding the 2 noise complaints that are on record, do you know when was the last incident?
Both incidents were in 2020
Okay.
and resolved in 2020.
And what was the resolution? Was there actual like changes, physical changes to the building, or was that just operational practice that was changed?
Operational changes in practice.
Okay.
The city, the subject business also maintains 2 8-foot sound barriers, kind of in constructions that are placed within the interior of the building to help with sound that's let out into the building or let out into the public.
When I was going through the packet, I read that there are going to be 2 lobbies that's going to help with this noise insulation. But
That's
when I
correct.
look at the floor plan itself, there was only 1 lobby being, designed into it,
Yes.
and there are 3 exterior doors.
Mhm.
So with 1 lobby, that's actually accessible from 1 exterior door, the other 2 exterior door doesn't actually have any noise insulation.
Okay.
So are the other 2 doors going to be closed throughout the event, and only the main door with the lobby access will be open?
It's my understanding that all doors should be closed during events, so sound doesn't go out into the public space. But I'd like to invite, if possible, the applicant, Celia Madriz, to maybe speak a little bit more about the floor plan of the site.
Celia, are you able to speak?
Hi, how are you?
Thank you.
Hi, thank you. Okay, usually we have one main lobby, and we use that to go outside and get inside. But the other two doors, it's always we always keep it closed, but it's emergency exits only.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the clarification. And for the emergency exits, are the door, does it have any insulation at all on the material that is used to at least, in case there is emergency and people are going in and out from it, do you
That
see any way to at least curb the noise from emitting?
Yeah, the second door, the one we have, the second door, we do have insulation in that one, so you don't hear too much noise. So when we get all the permits, they told us to make those two doors, because we have the main door, the second door, and the third door. So the second one has the same insulation of the main one, and then the third one, it's a big metallic, it's a special door. It's not coming the noise to outside. So it's a big metallic special door.
Thank you. And then I'm not sure if I can ask a few more questions to the applicant, Celia. Regarding the operational hours, I'm a little bit concerned that Thursday and Sunday, you're also requesting for extension into 2 a.m. How often has your, potential customers actually asked for Thursday and Sunday night parties that last so late into
I
the
know.
wee hours?
I know it's maybe like once a month, because we don't rent it too much on Thursdays, and we don't rent it too much on Sundays. But when it's a Labor Day or something that they don't have to work on Sundays, so it's most of the time. That's what I am asking, to do Thursday to Sunday, because I'm having a lot of Vietnamese weddings. They usually start really late, so all my customers, and for weddings and concerts, like Vietnamese concerts, they usually start a little bit late. So that's what I'm trying to get more business to Milpitas, and that's what I wanted to spend those hours.
Okay,
And
understood.
Commissioner Kong, if I may add, I did some research to find some other businesses in town that operate kind of on a later schedule. Dave and Buster's at the Great Mall. They operate Mondays and Tuesdays and Sundays 10 to 11 a.m. or 10 and 11 a.m. to midnight. Wednesdays, Thursdays 11 to 1. Fridays and Saturdays 11 to 2. Art Karaoke on Barber Lane 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. Pure Karaoke down the street on East Calaveras. They're also about 5:30 p.m. to 2 a.m. So this is consistent with other uses that are entirely maintained within the space, where no outdoor activities are allowed.
And the third question I have is regarding the security, the private security. I understand that you have a company contracted for it. Is there any way for you to also include the contact number on the signage, so that way, if there are incidents that happen, people actually have a contact number to call? If they don't visually see the private security on site, at least they have a number to contact.
Sure.
Right, I believe we'd be open to making that amendment to the resolution
Okay, great.
and the
Thank you.
conditions of approval.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Anybody else have any questions for the planning commissioners? I have just actually, Commissioner Kong asked most of the questions. So while I was at the site the other day, I mean, I see the building looks reasonably, I mean, fairly old and run down, and even the parking lot perhaps looks a little old and run down. Are there any plans to improve, make some changes to that?
Not with this application, but again, I'd like to punt to our applicant, Mrs. Madriz, to answer that question.
This year I'm planning to make a little bit the parking lot a little bit better. The inside, it's amazing, the inside. And the outside, we everybody of the customers, they're happy with the design that it's outside. So for now, or maybe we just gonna fix a little bit the parking lot, but the rest is it's good.
Right, and as mentioned in the staff report, the applicant will still be required to apply for any standard planning and building permits to carry out future student site improvements and tenant improvements.
Yes.
Also, I noticed some of the days you actually reduced the hours from like 12 p.m. to 3 p.m.
That's right.
Why would you go the other way? Why would you reduce the hours?
Again, Mrs. Madriz, would you like to answer that?
Usually at 12, nobody wants to start the party or the wedding at 12. So most of my Vietnamese wedding, they usually start at 7 or 8 p.m. So we put at 3 p.m., but nobody starts any wedding at 12 or 1. I just ask him 3 p.m. to the 2 a.m.
Okay. And last question, you see quite a few conditions of approval from the applicant. Do you fully accept all the conditions of approval, or you have any concerns? You are
Me?
the
Oh,
Me?
yes, that Mrs. Madriz, if you can answer that, and then I'll piggyback.
I'm okay.
Okay. There are, in the resolution and the conditions of approval on page 9, project-specific conditions. You'll notice, starting on condition number 18 down to condition 32, we did add this new condition for indoor operations only. It's number 21. That one is the new one that's not reflected in the original use permit 19008. It says all events and activities associated with the approved use shall occur entirely within the enclosed interior of the event center. Outdoor events, gatherings, or any related activities are strictly prohibited at all times. So that's a new one, and that's to reinforce the practice that has already been continued by the applicant.
Okay, thank you. I have no more questions. Now, there are questions from Commissioner Galang.
Sir, what is the maximum capacity of the center?
The maximum capacity of the center is, let me go through my notes here. Oh, you know what?
It's 300 to 299.
Yes, that's the number that I had reflected here too. Thank you.
How many is that? 320? Do we have enough parking space for this?
Yes, so the project application for this use permit amendment doesn't facilitate the need for increased parking, but if they were to maybe expand a use, rehabilitate the inside, make more event space, for example, or do kind of exterior modifications, additions to the building, that would trigger a requirement for new parking.
I have a question for Celia.
Sure.
Celia, is this your first time applying for expansion since 2020?
Yeah, this is my first time.
What is the main reason why you want to expand your hours of operation? What's the main reason?
Right now, I have a lot of Vietnamese weddings and a lot of concerts. So they, like I said, they start a little bit late. So when we finish at 12, they prefer to go to another location in San Jose. So I said, I prefer to make expanded the hours and get more business to Milpitas. And, it's something that we can get more to my business.
I think Milpitas Community Center, actually, they are open until 11 p.m. If we're going to approve this until 2 a.m., I think it's not fair that Milpitas Community Center is open until 11 p.m. Then we are approving this up to 2 a.m. But I don't know. It's not, I think it's not fair. It should be, you know what I mean? Because if 2 a.m., but the Milpitas Community Center is 11 p.m., is that vacant? Is that going to be,
I don't know if they have that big a space for, I never hear that they have a concerts, Vietnamese concerts. I don't know, I don't know if they have a Vietnamese concerts, but, my goal is to have more business to Milpitas, and because this is like an event center, so we want to have more weddings and more concerts. And like I said, it's not like all the time. Most of the times it's more in the weekends. But I just want to make sure that when I have something on Thursday or Sunday, when it's long weekend, it's better.
okay, Celia, when did you know that you think that your center, that you wanted to expand your operation? Is there a advanced booking of that center? Is it about 3 months booking already? It's been full. That's why you're requesting until 2 a.m. So what's
No,
the
it's they booking in advance. To me they booking 6-7 months in advance. So, and when I see the people come and see the venue or the event center, and they don't come back because they see the hours, and like I said, they start a little bit late. That's what I said, I'm gonna try after 2020. I said I'm gonna try to see if I can get that for my business, to grow more my business.
do we have, how far is this from our residential area? Is it far?
350 feet.
So if they will have a live band, they can hear that far?
The hope is not, no, because we've tried to condition the even with the expansion of hours, they tried to condition that all activities are maintained within the building. And it was in staff's analysis that there's a sufficient enough buffer in between the event center and the residential uses that that noise won't hopefully not be a problem.
If the center hired let's say, two groups of band, I mean, they play loud, and then the other, one after the other, is that okay? That because of the noise?
Yes, so our code can only restrict maybe not the activities within, but the noise that's projected out. So in our, let me see, Title 5, Chapter 213 of the Municipal Code related to noise abatement, we have a standard that says disturbing noise as measured from the property line, that's in excess of 65 decibels, measured from the property line, is it's kind of the limit.
So where's the stage for the band? Where that is it facing Dempsey, or is it
Face
where that stage
face the Dempsey Road.
facing where?
Facing the Calaveras, the
Oh,
main
facing out.
yeah, to that side, not to the houses area.
Right, it sounds like it's facing Dempsey.
So every time you have a band, you have to keep the door closed, correct?
Yes.
Yes,
Um,
that could be a responsibility of security as well, that will be maintained for larger events.
So if we have about 200 guests, so you're allowed to have a security personnel of 2 personnel, right? Security personnel,
Correct.
from start to end, right?
Yes.
Who will gonna hire that security personnel? Is it by
Oh, that would be the event center.
the event center?
That's correct. That's a service that they offer already to their patrons.
Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner Galang. Now I'd like to see if there are any public comments regarding this agenda item.
Chair, we received one speaker card from Michael Cal.
Thank you. Hi. First of all, I want to say that the two complaints that you guys have is not true because I make more than 2 complaints since then. I have here email that I wrote to the last mayor, Ricky Trans, then before he's leaving, and then I called multiple times. And the fact that they say that the door is always open is not true. I live across from 680, and I hear them. And it took me a long time to find out where the noise came from. Do you know how far that is? And it bothers me. I can hear it, and I call multiple times. And then you can check the records that I've called. I can give you my phone number, and police been out there. How I found out is I have to figure out where this noise came from. First, I thought it was within my own neighborhood. And then, the police came out and say, nope, it's not from where all these areas. And then one day, I figured out it came across from the freeway. I drove over there, and I can hear it. I called the police. They came out, and they confirmed there was a problem. And they told me that we talked to them, and they're supposed to close the door. But half an hour later, the noise come back again. I called so many times, and even the police department told me that the only thing you can do is contact the commission planning. Now, I also look into it. When this event's open, there was no environmental study for noise and see how far this travel. I mean, the fact that I live right across from the freeway, that's too far. There's a lot of bass coming through. I have double wall window, and I still can hear it upstairs and downstairs. This has been a nuisance, and I have 3 or 4 email here I can share with anybody who's interested. And, this is why I come here. My neighbor hear it. I don't know why they don't come. And, but, you can verify those facts. I have email here, and you can check that I complained more than 2 times. I went there. If anybody come out there during a party or an event, you stand in front of the parking lot, you hold your phone, you just have like a regular decibel noise, it exceeds the noise. If I can hear across from the freeway, what do you think the noise in the parking lot would be?
Thank you. I think you made your point. Appreciate it. Is this supposed to be time limit? The timer was not running. It was. It was? Okay. Any other cards?
No other speaker cards, Chair.
Are there any other public comments, even though you may not have a speaker card? Somebody wants to have any complaint? That
Hi. My name is Crystal Sanders. Hi. I like the idea of having it open later, just because there is a business across the street of the karaoke that is open pretty late. So I do think that it's pretty fair, just for someone that does go out and enjoy the nighttime life in Milpitas. I think it would be a great expansion to Milpitas nightlife.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's talk it over here. What do you think about the issue, the noise issue that has come up? Anybody has any comments or feedback?
I have a question. Sir, did we receive any police report about the incident inside the event center? Did you receive any police report about any incident?
No, that's a great distinction, actually. So the 2 noise complaints that I cited within the staff report and then within the presentation were voluntarily abated complaints through code enforcement.
How about inside the facility? Is there any altercation or any fight
Not to my knowledge.
since 2020?
since 2020, not to my knowledge, just with the code
Okay.
enforcement cases.
Hi, Commissioner. I could provide a little bit of information because we did check in with police department, and I think the distinction is that the calls are probably being made to the police. So those are calls for service, which is different from planning code enforcement. And there were no incidents for the interior. And there were 2 calls for service regarding the exterior in the parking lot, but not related to noise. But there were several calls for service. I'm sure some from the gentleman here and possibly some others since 2023.
Are there any, when the noise was felt across the highway, was the door open when some music was going on? Was the front door of the building open? Do we know?
Maybe it was open, yeah, because most of the time I try to keep it closed.
So if the door is closed, will that solve the problem to a large extent, or you need to put more insulation?
No, we keep it closed and the sound is not coming.
I'll also add that within the original resolution, conditions of approval and the new conditions of approval for the use amendment, there is a specific condition about signage related to trespassing and loitering, and appropriate signage shall be posted in conspicuous areas forbidding the consumption of alcohol. If the commission would be open to requiring additional signage to keep doors closed during later hours in order to encourage sounds kind of be maintained within the business, that might be a great opportunity.
Okay, so I think if there are no more comments, oh, yeah, please.
I was just going to say, I do like the notion of just having either additional signage or making it just a request for the door to remain closed so that the sound is reduced significantly. But I will add that, you know, having been a longtime resident in Milpitas and also enjoying evening nightlife, I think it is, I do like the concept to be able to be, I think, supportive of just different cultural experiences. And so it sounds like this is really designed to accommodate like the Vietnamese weddings and Vietnamese concerts. I like that idea because I think it is important for us to be able to experience different traditions and for communities to really put resources back into the city. So that is just my 2 cents.
Thank you, Commissioner Brown. A good comment. Any other comments, or should we move on to the motion?
I have a question.
Okay.
I'm not sure if the applicant is she's still online, because I'd like to find out if there are any other alteration that can be done to make sure that 2 doors are never open at the same time, because you have the main door and then you have the lobby door, and the noise can only travel if both doors are open, right? Because ideally, only one door should be open at any given time. There should never be 2 doors open at the same time. But can there be other types of perhaps mechanism that make sure that the door always automatically closes? You know, like just like this door here, this door has a lot of soundproofing. You can see that the material is there, but the door can stay open, right? If there is a mechanism that automatically closes it, if somebody walks out, you know, I'm not sure what the material is called, like this thing here, right? That you can pull the door back.
Well, it's sorry, it's 2 doors. So when usually when you go in the first door, you have to close the first door to go to the second door. So I always put a security guard in the middle so he can close and close and open the second door. That's what is not too much noise. And with the you know, the gentleman said that he heard that noise, it's because maybe they, you know, after that I always make sure that it's closed, and I'm gonna make sure every time that it's closed so that doesn't come out the sound. But yeah, it's usually you have to close one door to go to the second door. That's
So-
that's.
And right now you're using a private security to make sure to kind of monitor and close the door, right? But
Yes.
do you see anything in the market that commercially available that can also help to keep the
And
doors
the what?
closed?
And I don't hear what you said. Sorry.
Are there any other like door designs that might be available to help keep the doors automatically closed? If somebody were to open one, let's say they open the inside door,
Yeah, it's
the outside
automatic.
door needs to be closed, right? Like something
Yeah.
that could, like bounce back and close
Yeah,
it
it's
right away.
bounce. It's
Okay.
like that. Yeah, the one inside the venue,
Mhm.
that one you open, but it's automatic close.
Okay, how
And
about the one outside?
the one outside, the security guard open and close, so people can just pull it and then close. It's like a door, for the sound. And one more thing, I always forgot. Before I opened my Celia's Event Center, the Dempsey Road, if you guys check before, because I do donations for the police department, and the police department, they always happy with us, because before Dempsey Road was really bad. That shopping center,
Mhm, I
they
agree.
said it was really bad. So right now, that's what I never have any issue with the police,
Yeah.
because it's really clean right now.
I agree. I agree with you. We have
Mhm.
seen the prior
Yeah.
retail where it was kind of abandoned, so it's a good change. But I'm trying to also kind of find middle ground, right, to make sure that the noise doesn't travel far. So, are there any other things like curtains or landscaping, things that you can perhaps add to create more sound barrier? I think
Okay.
that's something that I would love for you to look into.
Okay, that sounds good.
Sure, and certainly when you uh, continue with future site improvements, that might be something that you'd like to incorporate. And I wanted to pose a question to the applicant, actually, Mrs. Madriz. Just wanted a point of clarification, as shared from our planning director. When we say 2 a.m. is the closing hours, is that the intended time of closure for events? Or does that also include cleanup time with staff and things? And, the space is officially vacant at 2:30. Just wanted to clarify what your intentions were.
Yeah, we close at 2, and nobody stay, after maybe 10 minutes, we vacant the location, because I have people that they come really in the morning, like 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning, to clean up, so nobody stays, after those hours.
Great. So it's a hard stop at 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah.
Commissioner Galang?
Yeah, one question, sir. You showed us only the exterior part of this building. You don't show us the interior. Do you have that?
Oh, we do not have interior shots of the space.
Actually, I think Commissioner Galang was referring to the floor plan. Liz will pull up the floor plan. We have that ready.
We do have a floor plan. That's right. No pictures from inside, though.
So the stage is facing Calaveras, correct?
Yes.
So this square is a dance floor, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So where's the main entrance again? Main entrance is in Dempsey. Am I correct? You see the main entrance in Dempsey?
That one is the main door.
Yes, it looks like it's that the bottom line, 1 through 7.
So if the stage on facing Calaveras, and where's the other door again? There's a door back. There's a back door. Or
So there are, I believe, 3 doors facing west, which would explain why the public speaker might be hearing it. It's because the doors face that way. There are 2 doors in the rear from the storage areas coming out the other side. I think the challenge is that all the doors, the front entrance is facing west. To the south is another tenant space. And then to the north and east are other spaces, like storage spaces. So if people were to exit that way, you would have to significantly alter the floor plan.
So everybody's exit either the back door or the front door also?
Front door.
Front door.
That's right.
So while the music is still on and then people are exiting on the main door, of course, you can hear the sounds outside.
Right.
Let's say how many people are exiting at the same time and the door is open, let's say 5 minutes, you can still hear the sounds. So is that going to be the issue then about the noise?
Hopefully, this will be addressed with good practices between the applicant and staff, and then with the conditions that we placed, and layered on with the requirements for maximum noise. That's part of our noise safety ordinance.
Okay, let's have a motion to close the public hearing for this item. Is there a motion to close the public hearing for this item?
I'll make the motion to close the public hearing.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Can we have the roll call, please?
Commissioner Castillo?
Aye.
Commissioner Brown?
Aye.
Commissioner Kong?
Aye.
Commissioner Golong?
Aye.
Vice Chair Colkins?
Aye.
Chair Gupta?
Aye.
Thank you.
It's time for the public hearing for the next item.
Sorry, we still need a motion.
Yeah, we need a motion to approve this item. Is there a motion, please? Can you show it on the screen?
Motion to approve. To approve the Celia's.
Yeah.
You're talking about Celia's. Yeah.
I was saying, push your button so your mic's not live.
There it is on the screen, Mr. Golang. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution number 26-001, approving conditional use permit amendment number UA 25-007 to use permit UP 19-0008, subject to the findings and attached conditions of approval.
Commissioner Galong, may I ask a question for clarification? I heard two proposals for additional conditions, one from Commissioner Kong, and then I can't recall who the other one was from. Do you want your motion to include those proposed conditions?
Yes.
Okay, so what I had those proposed conditions were in a form to be approved by the city attorney, a condition stating that the number for the security company shall be conspicuously posted on the property, both on the exterior and the interior. And another condition that the exterior doors shall remain closed during operation except for when in immediate use for entrance and exit, and that signage shall be posted on or near the doors stating that they must remain closed while the business is in operation.
Yes. You want me to?
That's excellent. We need an attorney. All right, let's have a motion to.
So you have a motion, you'd still need a second.
I second that motion.
Let's have the roll call, please.
Yes. Commissioner Castillo?
Approve.
Commissioner Brown?
Aye.
Commissioner Kong?
Aye.
Commissioner Golong?
Aye.
Vice Chair Colkins?
Aye.
And Chair Gupta?
Aye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's approved. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Come to the next item. New Life Community Church, 1000 Jacqueline Road. We're ready for the presentation from Mr. Manalo again.
Excellent. Thank you, Commissioners. The final item this evening is the use permit and minor site development permit request as UP 25004. Yes. And MS 25-2289 for New Life Community Church at 1000 Jacqueline Road. The project proposes to operate a new major community assembly use operated by New Life Community Church within an existing two-story building, and the applicant is also requesting a minor site development permit for landscape and parking improvements to the subject site. The site was formerly the location of an indoor sports facility operated by several different tenants, most recently operated by Smash Gym until 2025. Under the Milpitas Municipal Code, major community assembly uses over 2,000 square feet and with a capacity of more than 200 seats within the highway services zone requires a conditional use permit. The applicant also requests a minor site development permit to allow for minor exterior improvements for ingress and egress, as well as landscaping improvements, parking lot restriping, and accessible pedestrian route upgrades. Consistent with the zoning code, projects involving multiple applications may be consolidated for final action and heard by the highest review authority required for any of the applications. Here, that review authority is the Planning Commission. I wanted to clarify some of the project description updates you may have been aware of with this project in recent days. Staff was able to post and notice this project as a use permit and minor site development permit to operate the major community assembly use and allow for landscape improvements at an existing 34,430 square foot two-story commercial building at 1000 Jacqueline Road. And it was over the weekend that staff and the applicant team identified that materials posted incorrectly cited the square footage of the existing building. The applicant team provided an updated plan set at the direction of our planning director and assistant city attorney. All materials, including the agenda, staff report, and resolution, have been amended and reposted to reflect the correct smaller square footage of 25,160 square feet of the existing building. The project proposes only tenant improvements and no additional square footage to the existing building. Staff's analysis of the project does remain the same, and only references to the total square footage of the building have been updated with the correct square footage within the report, site plan, and resolution. We apologize for the confusion with this clerical error, and I wanted to extend a thank you to our Assistant City Attorney, Planning Director, and Recording Secretary for their very quick assistance in helping correct and address this discrepancy. Next slide, please. This is an aerial image of the project site northeast of the city center, just south of Jacqueline Road and west of Interstate 680. The aerial shows the project site is south and behind a Shell gas station on Jacqueline Road and is connected to the Jacqueline Commons Commercial Center. To the south of the project site, you'll see another commercial building, and to the southwest of the project site, you'll notice a collection of residential uses extending along North Hillview Drive parallel to Interstate 680. It's these residential properties that are approximately 200 feet from the project site and separated by another building within the Jacqueline Commons Center, currently occupied by the Milpitas Hillview Kinder Care Learning Center. The project can be accessed from Jacqueline Road and through driveway entrances at North Hillview Drive to the southwest, and we'll discuss this a bit more later on in the staff's presentation. This is the zoning map of the property. The project site and the neighboring gas station are zoned HS for highway services. The properties to the west and south are zoned CO for administrative and professional office and hosts a collection of medical business, professional offices, and dental clinics. The general plan land use designation for the project site and surrounding properties is neighborhood commercial, NC. Next slide, please. I wanted to take this opportunity to introduce you to the new proposed use and applicant, New Life Community Church. New Life Community Church proposes to offer worship services, Bible studies, vocational programs, activities, and worship gatherings for their parishioners. On days the church hosts such events during the standard work week, approximately 1 employee will staff the facility, and the church estimates that 4 employees will staff the church during Saturdays and Sundays from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Weekends are projected to be the busiest days of the week for the proposed use between preparation and hosting of weekly Sunday worship services. Sundays will also feature a children's ministry from 10:30 to 12 that's available only to children of parishioners attending services and is not open to the public. The church will not provide any alcohol service, and food will largely be catered or prepared by potluck on a regular basis. All activities associated with the church are proposed to be indoors. An operations description is provided as attachment C for your reference. Next slide, please. Here we see a site plan of the proposed project. As part of the site development permit, the applicant is requesting interior tenant improvements to the site, as well as landscape and parking improvements to improve pedestrian and vehicular circulation and access to the site. The applicant does not propose changes to the exterior color of the building, and the applicant is not proposing any additions to the existing building. A trash enclosure will be maintained at the east side of the site. That's on the site plan on your screen, the left. Next slide, please. Here we have a proposed first floor plan of the site. Parishioners and guests of the church will be able to access the building through the main entrance and entry hall through a set of double doors facing the parking lot area. The first floor will feature a classroom, vocational room, collection of storage room, women and men's restrooms, as well as the main worship hall. Next slide, please. And here we have a second floor with spaces largely left open to below, but will feature additional storage space and an office for church staff. To complement the interior improvements to the existing building, the applicant also proposes site improvements that are associated with the minor site development permit request. The red dotted line identifies the approximate location of the new pedestrian path that will extend from the southwest corner of the building across the parking lot and through an existing landscape planter for access to North Hillview Drive to the rear of the commercial center. Next slide, please. On this slide, we see these plans more in depth. Sorry. The site improvements will feature a minor curb ramp at the rear of the property, and the new walkway will be 5 feet in width and extend approximately 120 feet within the existing 35-foot wide ingress and egress easement in order to improve pedestrian access to the site and commercial center from Hillview Drive. As previously described, the proposed project will also include upgrades to parking and access aisles and include the installation of truncated domes and new paint for the parking area. And we'll discuss parking on site in upcoming slides. Next slide, please. Next, here are the development standards for the HS zone. As you can see, the project meets or exceeds all development standards for the zoning district, as there are no changes to the existing building. And next here, we see a parking summary of the functions uses associated with the new required parking on site, as established in Table C.6.050-A of the city's newly adopted Comprehensive Zoning Ordinance Update. Sheet G00 of the project plans provides a map of the orientation of the parking stalls, largely clustered at the front of the building behind the gas station facing Jacqueline Road. As you can see, the project meets and exceeds the total parking requirements for the site, and the proposed project also successfully meets the standard and compact parking space ratios established in the municipal code. Next slide, please. Great, okay. The image provided here aims to demonstrate vehicular access and traffic to the project site. The project site is near Interstate 680 and Jacqueline Road, and utilizes 4 existing shared driveways, 2 on Jacqueline Road and 2 on North Hillview Drive, which provides multiple routes for parishioners and guests to access the facility. On-site circulation and drive aisles have been reviewed by staff to ensure ample access and spacing requirements for fire truck access and solid waste management. Pedestrian access to the project building would be provided via a new pedestrian access path from existing sidewalks on North Hillview Drive as previously discussed. However, no access paths are provided from Jacqueline Road due to the location of the project site being surrounded by other adjacent buildings. Meanwhile, the on-site volume and speed of vehicular traffic would be low enough such that shared use of the drive aisles between pedestrians, bicycles, and vehicles is feasible. A special note, no parking at any time signs are posted on North Hillview Drive on both sides of the street immediately adjacent to the commercial center. While the proposed use is projected to maintain all required parking entirely on site, in the event of increased parking demand for the church, parking on North Hillview Drive will continue to be restricted. Next slide, please, sorry. Thank you. A traffic analysis report provided as attachment D was conducted for the project and prepared by the applicant at the request of staff to assess potential parking and circulation issues associated with this new proposed use. The report reviewed trip generation, vehicle miles traveled, and on-site vehicular truck circulation. In conclusion, the proposed project is consistent with the land uses permitted per the cities of Milpitas general plan and is projected to add approximately 25 daily trips on the traditional work week and approximately 120 total visitors attending worship services on Sundays. The number of daily trips will be local serving and is not expected to significantly impact the level of service in the immediate vicinity and will therefore result in a less than significant impact to VMT. Additionally, it is not anticipated that the church would generate traffic during the AM and PM peak hours for major commuting hours that would conflict with neighboring businesses, particularly the Milpitas Hillview KinderCare, which operates only Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and is closed on weekends. Next slide, please. The proposed project is categorically exempt from environmental review under CEQA in accordance with CEQA Guidelines 15301 on existing facilities and Section 15183, projects consistent with the community plan, general plan, or zoning. And a notice was published in the Milpitas Post and at City Hall as well as the city's website. A total of 473 postcards were sent to property owners within 1,000 feet of the project site. A sign was also posted at the project site, and staff received 0 comments relating to the project via email or by voicemail. Next slide, please. Staff has confirmed that the project meets the findings associated with the conditional use permit as set out in the Milpitas Municipal Code. Those findings have been discussed in the staff report and are addressed in the resolution. Specifically, the proposed use is appropriate for the zone, not detrimental to health, safety, and welfare, and is suitable for the use being proposed. The project is also consistent with several goals and policies identified in the general plan, including LU1, LU 6.5 and CD 6.4 related to accommodating a balanced mix of land uses, the reinvestment in commercial shopping centers, and maintaining viable neighborhood serving commercial uses in the city. Next slide, please. Staff has also confirmed that the project meets the findings associated with a minor site development permit as set out in the municipal code. Those findings have been discussed in the staff report and are addressed in the resolution. So staff's recommendation this evening is for the Planning Commission to open the public hearing, receive comments, close the public hearing, and adopt resolution number 26002, approving conditional use permit number UP 25004 and minor site development permit number MS 25289, subject to the findings and attached conditions of approval. Yes, and the project applicant team, including the applicant, Amos Young of New Life Community Church, the architect team, Gordon Wong and Jenny Chen of Gordon Wong Architecture, and the property owner representative, Alex Kent, are available for any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Manalo. First of all, is there any presentation from the applicant?
To our esteemed commissioners, Mr. Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, city personnel, and all others here in attendance, thank you so much for your time and consideration of our project. Good evening to all of you. As Sean Manalo here mentioned, my name is Amos Yang. I'm one of the pastors of New Life Community Church. I'm also a physician and anesthesiologist here in the Bay Area. I wanted to just very briefly introduce our group to you and to give you an idea of who we are and what we endeavor to do. Our church began back in 2012, and ever since then, we have endeavored to be an asset and blessing to the Bay Area. Especially as a church, specifically, we've sought to be a community where anyone can meaningfully and authentically connect with God and others. As you might be aware, this property in question that you're considering is one that has been underutilized for many years now. Most of it, in fact, is currently vacant and not being used at all. If by chance you've had the opportunity to see the property recently, especially from the inside, then you're probably aware that the building is frankly falling into a state of disrepair and risks becoming an eyesore or even danger to the community. We're excited about the opportunity of renovating and transforming this property into something that the city can be proud to have in its midst. This, of course, would be in accordance with the plans of the project that you're considering. More importantly, though, we would love having the privilege of being able to be a contributing member of the city of Milpitas. I also am grateful to Sean Manalo for having commented during his presentation on the issues of parking and traffic, because I do know and understand, certainly, anytime an entity that functions as a place of assembly comes into a community, those are going to be legitimate concerns. I know those are concerns that are shared by some new friends that I made here right before this meeting. Thank you again for your time. We very much appreciate your consideration of our project, and certainly we welcome any inquiries that you might have.
Thank you very much. Let's hear some comments from the commissioners. Anybody has any comments, please? Commissioner Kong.
Yeah, thank you for bringing this project forward. I have a question. I'm not sure if, Sean, can you bring back the floor plan? Because I wanted to understand a bit more about the outdoor uses. Because I do see that there is going to be a small playground, and I'd like to know where it is located.
Sure. As it's coming up, the applicant identified that there will be a outdoor playground area on site, but that was not reflected on the plan specifically. And my assumption is that when they do decide to actually construct it, they will need to submit for a permit for review by the planning department.
Okay. So for today, if we were to approve the permit, it will not include any outdoor uses.
That is correct.
Is that correct? Okay, thank you.
Anybody else has any comments? Vice Chair.
Yeah, no, mine, good presentation on that. You covered a lot of the questions that I had during that, which is obviously the parking concerns and that. And I do agree, having gone to the gym in the 80s and seeing what it was like then till now. So I appreciate the fact that you guys want to revitalize that area.
Any other comments and questions? Mr. Glang?
Yeah, Mr. Manalo, with regards to, it says allow for landscape improvements. Are they going to put trees around the building? Are they going to put trees around the building?
Oh, that's a great question. The applicant does not require to install new trees, and the application doesn't require the removal of any trees or heritage trees per our municipal code.
I saw that there's trees in front of the building. Right? They're going to keep that tree.
They are going to maintain them. That's right.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I want to add just a couple of things. One, this building, actually, we approved a permit not so long ago, sometime last year, to have a preschool. So I wonder what happened to that applicant, and anybody has an answer?
Has a long history, I've understood. No,
It was just last year.
Just last year.
Of course, I, in a sense, can't speak for that applicant, the seller, but from my awareness, he has abandoned plans to pursue that preschool plan and to direct his capital elsewhere.
Okay. Also, of course, you have this tower which has the clock, special clock, which is quite useful to the nearby community. What do you plan to do about that clock?
Based on the project plans, the applicant just decided to maintain them as they are. So there will not be any modifications to the cell tower and the clock within.
A special light on the top which goes far and quite far distance.
Mm-hmm.
So Commissioner Galang actually lives about 100 feet. I mean, she not lives, she has dental practice there. So Commissioner Galang, you have any concerns about this new upcoming church?
Thumbs up. That's great.
So, yeah, he will get additional business, I guess. Okay, so with that, are there any public comments, please, for this item?
Chair, I have not received any speaker cards. Yeah.
Anybody has any comments, you can come to the mic, please.
Good evening. Sean seems a little nervous today. Anyways, my name is BJ Navarro. I live at 915 North Hillview. You all passed my house. I'm the house on the corner that faces the intersection. That's my house. We're happy to have these folks as our neighbors and for them to renovate the building. We're really looking forward to that business being improved. And of course, I represent many of my neighbors. Their only concern is when they have a congregation and they exceed the amount of parking spots, which we see as 63, and if they have 120 people in a service, and they all drive, and who knows how many are coming in cars, what are they going to do if they do exceed the spots? So that's the only concern, especially the neighbors that are in the courts that are across from North Hillview. My corner, probably people might be parking on that street. Oh, well, they have to walk across the intersection. But the courts that are right there, people could be parking in there as well. So that's our biggest concern is traffic and parking in the neighborhood. Other than that, we're happy that they're going to be joining our neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments, please?
Chair, we have Miss Julia Yu.
Hello.
Hello, my name is Julia Yu, 190 Cobblestone Loop. I've been a Milpitas resident for the last 9 years, right past the Print townhouses and US Bank, in fact. Just a little longer than that, I've been attending New Life Community Church myself. I've been very excited at the prospect of the building because I am very proud of the city and I want others to be able to enjoy it too. I can go on and on about how the city has a lot to offer, but I know you all are well aware of that. I also firmly believe that this church has a lot to offer as a good neighbor. My experience at this church has been nothing but wonderful. It's a church I've attended the longest duration-wise in my entire life, and there are a multitude of reasons why I've stayed so long. One of which is that its people are loving, kind, genuine, faithful, and considerate. We are a tight-knit community that genuinely loves one another, and as an organization that operates on the belief that we're called to love our neighbor, I'm confident that we will be a blessing to the city of Milpitas. And also with the number of attendees, there are a lot of children, but we have minivans, so we carpool really well. And if I didn't feel so strongly about this, I wouldn't have come and brought my 18-day-old baby with me. So thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Any other public comments, please?
Hi, my name is Jennifer Liu. I also live in Milpitas at the Coyote Creek community. I've been there since 2012, and we joined this church when my oldest was just 9 months old. He is almost 10, so it's been 9 years. And this church has been a blessing to us. My husband and I has built our family with this church, and it has been a blessing. And just the community has helped us learn to bear each other's burdens and love on each other, and also extend that love to our neighbors. My community is condos, like 33 units, 333 units. And there's also a unique community where there are lots of families, lots of children, and they are very interested in knowing how I have my community, my church, and they also want to be able to have that blessing too. And driving far away to find a church specifically that is loving towards children is very hard for them. So finding a church in Milpitas close by will be such a blessing to me and my community at Coyote Creek. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any more public comments, please? I'd like to make a comment. We noticed that a number of families have brought their kids who have been very well behaved. So I want to recognize these families, came to speak, and and brought their children. We appreciate them taking the time to come out and acknowledge what takes for families in this community. Thank you very much. Now I'd like to close the public. Might be some comments from the commissioners before we close the public hearing. Are there any comments?
Yeah, so I wanted to address the concern from BJ regarding parking. And Sean, can you help kind of maybe enlighten us if there can be arrangement made with the other businesses in the complex to use their shared parking?
If I may, I'll invite Director Lee to answer the process for a shared parking agreement that may be considered by the Planning Commission.
So a shared parking agreement is allowed per our municipal code as a way to satisfy the parking requirement. In this situation, the reason why we didn't proactively pursue a parking agreement is because they meet the standards without a shared parking agreement. And so typically, if a shared parking agreement is desired, that would come to the Planning Commission, and Planning Commission could approve that parking agreement. But the applicant would have to, of course, speak with the neighboring property owners and then come to an agreement that's kind of outside. That happens outside of the city, but it does come to the city for approval. And then eventually that agreement, I believe, gets notarized. So it does become an official document. But in this situation, there isn't one. Although, in the future, if the city finds that, or the applicant finds that a parking agreement is necessary and would be helpful, then that's something that could be pursued and come back to the Planning Commission. But it's not part of this application right now. I do think that it would be difficult to try to require that right now, and because it depends on the cooperation of the property owners.
But in general, the accounting of parking right now, the number 64, is only specific to the one owned by the church, right? And in that complex itself, there are in excess of many more parking spots available on a Sunday, right? I mean, I'm assuming that the parking spots will be available to the churchgoers. I'm not sure how it works in the sense that,
Technically,
like, for example,
the parking allocated on site is supposed to be the designated parking for all guests, parishioners for that use. So we can't restrict what happens on Sundays. The application formalizes the parking for the site.
Correct. Like, for example, the kindercare next door and all those stuff, they have their own parking spots, right?
That is correct.
Okay. So technically, before visitors might park in the residential area, there is a higher probability that they may seek parking in the adjacent business spaces, I would say.
If parking were to, based on the applicant's materials, they are able to accommodate all parking on site. But if they were to expand their use, rearrange rooms that might require rooms for storage that might be used for additional classrooms, that would be the trigger for us to reassess the parking that might be allocated on site.
And I do want to briefly clarify what I said earlier. The parking agreement, a shared parking agreement, would only have to come back if they needed it to meet the parking requirement. If it's not needed to meet the parking requirement, that's something that can be voluntarily worked out with the adjacent property owners.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm clear. Thank you.
At this point, I'd like to close the public hearing. Can I have a motion to close the public hearing, please?
Actually, before we have that, we did mention that Commissioner Galang rents property for his business nearby there. And can I just, I assume that Commissioner Galang doesn't see there being a conflict there, but just for the record, do you mind if I ask a few questions on that subject?
No, sir.
Okay. Does this decision here today actually, have you been told, or do you otherwise have reason to believe that the decision here today would change the termination date of your lease? Was the answer no? And do you have reason, have you been told or do you have reason to believe that the decision here today would change your use of the property under your lease?
Can you please explain again?
That is, have you been told or do you have any reason to believe that this decision you're making here today would change the terms of your lease and use of the property?
I don't think so. No, Your
Um, have you been told or do you have reason to believe that the decision today would impact your use or lease of the property? That is, how you use the property?
No, Your Honor.
And I'm certainly not Your Honor. I'm just the attorney and just making the record where I think all of these things were implicit in your decision, but just for public. And then do you have any reason, have you been told or do you have any reason to believe that the decision today would change or affect the rental value of your lease? That is, the rent that you're paying?
No.
Okay. Those are the kinds of questions that the conflicts ask us to look into. And with that, I have no reason to recommend recusal of the member.
Okay, thank you, Attorney Creech. Now, can we close the public hearing? Do I have a motion to close the public hearing, please?
I move to close the public hearing.
Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Castillo?
Aye.
Commissioner Brown?
Aye.
Commissioner Kong?
Aye.
Commissioner Golong?
Aye.
Vice Chair Culkins?
Aye.
And Chair Gupta?
Aye.
Thank you.
Can we have a motion to approve this project?
I will make the motion to adopt resolution number 26002, approving conditional use permit number UP 250004, minor site development permit number MS 250289, subject to the findings and attached conditions of approval.
Is there a second?
I would like to second this.
Can we have a roll call, please?
Yes, thank you. Commissioner Castillo?
Aye.
Commissioner Brown?
Aye.
Commissioner Kong?
Aye.
Commissioner Golong?
Aye.
Vice Chair Culkins?
Aye.
And Chair Gupta?
Aye.
Thank you.
Project is approved. Congratulations. Thank you. At this point, we will move on to the election of chair and vice chair. Is that the right moment?
I think we have a new business item first, which is for the bylaws amendment.
Okay, so there's a new business item we need to address, which is invocation, discuss the process and considerations for including an invocation as a standing agenda item for planning commission meetings. This is actually proposed by the previous one of the commissioners, but I want to hear everybody's comments. We are in favor of this idea.
If I may, I could provide a brief summary of what this item is about. And you already kind of alluded to it at the regularly scheduled meeting from last year, September 24th. The Planning Commission requested city staff agendize a future discussion on an amendment to the Planning Commission bylaws to include an invocation as a standing agenda item for future Planning Commission meetings, similar to what the City Council has done at the outset of its meetings. And briefly, an invocation is a brief statement or reflection intended to offer wisdom, guidance, and a sense of community for the benefit of the hearing body and community. And there's more to invocations, which I'll let City Attorney Chris Creech speak more if there are questions about the legal aspects of it. But as we were also reviewing the bylaws and the Title I, Chapter 500 of the Milpitas Municipal Code, for this discussion, we also identified other administrative changes to the bylaws and the ordinance to have greater alignment between the two documents, to also encourage or to facilitate efficiencies in commission business and operations, and again, a few other clerical edits. So I'll provide a brief summary right now. For the bylaws, and this is all in the staff report, but I just want to summarize, amend section 2.03 to clarify that the chair is responsible for signing all resolutions approved by the Planning Commission, which is our current practice. But just to make that clear, add section 502 to allow any member of the commission to offer a brief invocation and establish the invocation process and guidelines. So that was the original item that gave rise to this, and then amend section 5.04, which will now be 5.05 with clerical edits. You can see copies of that, and then amend section 5.09, now 5.10, to clarify that commissioners may vote on the approval of meeting minutes for meetings they did not attend if they have the sufficient information to do so, because we've seen that happen in the past. And we don't want to prevent commissioners from voting for that, as long as they are aware of everything that went on. And then amend section 5.13, now 5.14, to allow the chair to close the public hearing without an approved motion by the commission, just for efficiency. And then add section 5.16 to allow the chair, without a motion, to adjourn meetings temporarily or close the meeting after the conclusion of business and declare recess when necessary or expedient to do so. And now moving on to the proposed changes to the Milpitas Municipal Code. Amend section 1.07 to clarify that the Planning Commission shall elect the chair and vice chair at the first meeting in January rather than the fiscal year. So the code actually says fiscal year, but our practice has been to elect the chair and vice chair, as we hope to do tonight, at the first meeting of the calendar year. And then also remove language requiring appointment of a secretary for commission meetings, as we already have a wonderful secretary right over there. So yes, those are the changes in summary. And yes, now we can open it up for discussion amongst the commission.
So this is more than just the invocation idea. You're actually changing many other bylaws, right?
Correct.
Oh, okay. Everybody got the chance to review these additional changes or bylaws? Of course, we heard, Planning Director Jay Lee about that. But one question I do have about the invocation, is invocation going to be optional, or in every meeting there has to be an invocation by somebody?
So the way that we crafted the policy, similar to how the council policy works, is that it's set up as a standing item. However, the commission may, by vote, choose to skip it for any particular meeting, and the commission may, by majority vote, choose to suspend the practice if it finds that it's no longer useful or needed at a meeting. So that is an option available to the commission, both on a meeting-by-meeting basis as well as on a continuing basis. So it's the choice of the body if they find that practice to be useful to them or not.
Is there any time limit for this invocation? Is there proposed time or limit, like 2 minutes, 1 minute, but whatever?
So in the draft guidelines for the bylaw amendment, it simply says brief, so it doesn't set a numerical limit, but what is contemplated is a brief invocation in the same way that the city council's invocation policy specifies a brief invocation is typically, as you said, been no more than a couple of minutes.
Okay, given that, are there any other comments or questions?
Yeah, I wanted to make a comment on the invocation because I wanted to kind of scout out what other cities are doing. And based on what I find online, the larger cities like San Francisco, San Jose, Fremont, the Planning Commission do not include any invocation. The only one that I could find remotely close to an invocation is City of Santa Clara. They have a statement of values, and it's a fixed statement that they read every time. So it's not like a special agenda where somebody would have to, come up with their own invocation. So personally, I don't see a need for Milpitas Planning Commission to add a standing agenda for invocation.
Are there any other comments about invocation as well as the other bylaw changes?
Well, the other bylaw changes to make our minutes a little more in alignment with city council. I like that idea, but at the same time, I was thinking too about suspending the practice based on what we all want to do, for the invocation, because I kind of agree. And there is always a spot where we can make comments where we can say, let's go and be proud. So, yeah.
Commissioner Brown, you have any comments?
Really just a point of clarification. So are we saying that we are suspending the invocation where we're not really thinking about adding that, just really focusing on the revision of the bylaws? Is that what I'm hearing? Okay.
We can vote on invocation separately, whether we want it or not. In addition to the bylaws, a separate item, I suppose, right? Yeah.
If when we get to the making of a motion, if the maker of the motion says, I would like to accept the other changes, but not the invocation change, that could be a motion.
So then I do have another question, just to hear from other commissioners, as this is my first, as a NEO, I would like to hear from some of the other commissioners in terms of what your thoughts are in regards to the invocation. Like you, Mr. Chair, or
I guess two of them already made their comments.
Yeah, two did, yes.
Yeah, yes. So I'm not necessarily I'm kind of neutral on this. Either way, I'm fine. I mean, if there's no invocation, it otherwise gives you additional thing to worry about when you come to the meeting.
Okay.
Any other comments?
I'm neutral. I always listen.
We need the microphone.
I say I'm like neutral too. Like I always listen and I always try to hear everybody's comment. And then if it's something that I have to add on, then I will. But if it's something that I will agree, if we're like 10 of us, if I agree with more than 5, I say, okay, I go with the majority and I agree with the kind of in the middle. Yeah.
I'm neutral too. If it's necessary in the future, why not? But right now, I'm whatever the majority vote, I'll go for it.
Chair, may I make then one comment? So obviously the practice of the commission had not previously had that invocation. And as Commissioner Kong pointed out, certainly my experience with local bodies is that while there are a number of cities where the city council might do something like that, subordinate bodies, I have not typically seen that practice. So the proposal of adopting an invocation policy for the Planning Commission was something new to the commission to be discussed. The other point that I'd make is that where public bodies have adopted an invocation process, it's because their members felt a benefit to that was worth the time taking. And so what I'd give to the commission is that the only function of adopting that policy is if you think it's worth the time.
Is there any motion about that subject from anybody, whether for or against?
I'll make an emotion to adopt the changes that we were talking about, but not include the invocation.
Sorry, I actually should have stepped in earlier. We still need to take public comment on this item.
Okay. Is there a public comment? Only public, we don't have any public.
There are no speaker cards, Chair.
Okay, no public comments. So
then you have a motion, but you still need a second.
Is there any second?
I'll second the motion.
Please. Liz?
Yes. Yes. Commissioner Castillo?
I second. Aye.
This is the vote.
Commissioner Brown?
Aye.
Commissioner Kong?
Aye.
Commissioner Galong?
Aye.
Vice Chair Culkins?
Aye.
Chair Gupta?
Aye.
Thank you.
So I think new business is done.
Then we'd be on to election of chair and vice chair.
Let's move on to election of chair and vice chair. Attorney Creech,
So in previous years, I have presided over the election of chair and vice chair. Unless I hear a motion to the contrary, this is the procedure that we'll use. I will start it by calling for a nomination period. During the nomination period, any member of the commission may nominate themselves or any other member of the commission. They can also briefly speak in favor of their nomination. We will then continue until no more nominations are being made. At that point, we will then take public comment, followed by discussion among the body. And then once discussion is done, there will, I would ask that someone make a motion to appoint one or another of the nominees, and we will proceed by motion and discussion until a chair and vice chair are selected. We'll take the nominations for the chair first and then repeat the process for the selection of vice chair. And one last thing that I forgot to mention, which is when someone nominates the nominee should accept or decline the nomination. So with that said, and hearing no motions to use the contrary procedure, I will open the floor to nominations.
the nomination.
Yeah, I'd like to nominate Chair Gupta again because of your leadership and your professionalism. Yes, I'll nominate you as a chair.
Chair Gupta, do you accept that nomination?
Yeah, I accept it, yeah.
So I'm looking to see if there are any other nominations. Seeing none, then we would have a discussion, if any. First I will call for public comment. Is there any member of the public who wishes to make a public comment on this item? Seeing none, is for discussion if needed. If not, then I would ask for a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to elect Chair Gupta as the chair for the new term.
I'll second that.
So I have a motion by Commissioner Kong, a second by Vice Chair Culkins. Can I have the roll call vote?
Commissioner Castillo?
Aye.
Commissioner Brown?
Aye.
Commissioner Kong?
Aye.
Commissioner Galong?
Aye.
Vice Chair Culkins?
Aye.
Chair Gupta?
Aye.
Thank you.
Vote is unanimous. Congratulations, Chair. And then we'll move on to the nomination period for Vice Chair. Does anyone have a nomination for Vice Chair?
I'd like to nominate for vice chair Commissioner Kong.
Commissioner Kong, would you accept that nomination?
I accept.
Are there any other nominations?
Nomination?
So seeing no, so you don't have any more nominations? I'm not seeing anyone else asked to be recognized for nominations, so I will consider the nomination period closed. I will ask for public comment. Are there any public comment on the selection of vice chair? Seeing none. If there is any discussion or deliberation, you may do so now. Otherwise, we need a motion.
I'll make a motion to elect Commissioner Kong as Vice Chair Kong.
Second.
So the motion was by the motion was to appoint Commissioner Kong as Vice Chair. It was made by Vice Chair Culkins and seconded by Commissioner Galong. Roll call vote.
Commissioner Castillo?
Aye.
Commissioner Brown?
Aye.
Commissioner Kong,
Aye.
Commissioner Galong,
Aye.
Vice Chair Colkins,
Aye.
and Chair Gupta.
Aye.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Commissioner Kong. With that, we have concluded the election of chair and vice chair, and we can move along to adjournment.
That was pretty smooth.
Maybe we can adjourn the meeting first and then.
Okay, it's time to adjourn the meeting. First of all, I have to read this statement. Any person aggrieved by any final decision of any board, commission, or department head, the City of Milpitas may appeal the decision to City Council by filing written notice of the appeal with the City Clerk within 12 calendar days of the date of said decision and paying the required fee. This time limit shall be strictly enforced. So with that, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting, please?
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Is there a second?
I second.
Commissioner Castillo,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Vice Chair Kong,
Aye.
Commissioner Galong,
Aye.
Commissioner Colkins,
Aye.
and Chair Gupta.
Aye.
Thank you.